I've known Curtis for a long time, making food television and doing restaurant reviews and all the other media that I've done for the last 20 years. When he was a young cook in Chicago, I got to meet him, and you saw right away that guy. In 10 years, that guy is going to have his own restaurant and Michelin stars and whatever he wants, because he's clearly the most talented person in the room. Hello there.
Hello, how are you, sir?
Oh, fantastic, good to see you.
Great to see you.
As his career has grown, I've eaten his food at all the restaurants that he's been in, and we don't live that far away. So it's great seeing the evolution of someone and have the opportunity to eat his food over the course of many years. I think he's one of the handful of best chefs in the world.
This is a gift box for you.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Hey, Steve. Tell me what you're making today.
So we are doing somewhat of a hamachi crudo. So a lot of Vietnamese flavors, Thai flavors going on. We've got some finger limes, regular limes, basil seeds, beautiful black rice from China. We have some mint, basil, cilantro.
How do you respond to people who would call your food overly fussy?
I've actually never heard that before.
How does this food culture that's like in this cloud around you play itself out most, especially at home? I'm curious.
It's simplicity at home for me. You know, it's we're surrounded in the kitchen by 20 chefs every day, and we're just submersed in it all day long every day. So to come home and just be able to, roast a chicken or just grill a piece of fish simply and not put too much fuss into or thought into it, it's just, that's what it is for me.
When we were doing this kitchen, we actually were fairly obsessive about the idea of space. We rearranged everything so that you actually walked into the kitchen and were met by this counter, which makes the counter the centerpiece of our home. We just moved in a couple of weeks ago, so the art isn't even on walls everywhere that it's supposed to be, and there's furniture that's missing, but we're absolutely in love with it. And we wanted the kitchen to dominate. The kitchen is where life happens. Life happens in the kitchen, just full stop for everyone, I believe. The new space.
Yes.
Ever's in a brand new building, isn't it?
It is in a brand new building.
So, were you able to design the kitchen in a different way than you did at Grace?
Well,
or did you have a blank slate at Grace as well? And how important is that architectural piece, not only in the kitchen, but in the rest of the space as well?
It was basically rubble. I mean, it was a brand new build. The building was smart enough not to put up walls and put in plumbing and all that kind of stuff down there. So anything that went into that space could then design it from the rear, the bones of everything.
Sure.
I mean,
a lot of times you fall in love with a house and it comes with a good kitchen, and there's only so much you could do, and you get some of your bells and whistles in there, but not everything, and you're still extremely happy. I've loved the kitchens in all my other houses, but this one I got to design from scratch, so it works literally perfectly for me. I'm not sure it works for anyone else, but it works perfectly for me. You're in the restaurant, you have a home in Chicago, you have a place in Miami. I'm assuming space is a very important concept to you.
Yeah. What I love about this kitchen itself is almost like Miami, where it's a lot of countertops.
Yeah.
Clean, nothing on the countertops. I love minimalist.
Yeah.
And I love being able to see across the room without having shelves and you're ducking underneath and pots and pans hanging everywhere. I love the cleanliness of this, and the same thing with Miami, and that's the same thing with Ever. It's minimal. Everything is tucked away, has a purpose, everything's hidden.
I'm so impressed with the firepower of this, the technical savvy, the number of probes, the rotisseries, the attachments, the tray inserts for the different ovens that allow you to cook using every bit of their technology, just make Gaggenau, I think, the #1 choice if you're designing a kitchen. If you love to cook, then you're gonna need Gaggenau. It's a need. It's definitely a need.
I think as I get older, we tend to pull back and put less on the plate. I always say simplicity is, you know, you can't hide behind simplicity.
Right.
If there's 2 or 3 ingredients on the dish, then that's it. But what we like to explore is a few flavor profiles. There might be 15 elements to the dish, but realistically, there's 3 to 4 flavor profiles, which is, I think everybody can grasp their palate around that, where it's not too much going on, where you're like, I don't even know where to start, you know?
This idea of enrolling, right? I mean, part of the job is done because you've already achieved what you achieved at Grace. In other words, they come to Ever and want to join the team, but you have to transfer your passion and vision.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, I'm there to inspire people. I'm not there to motivate them. My job is not to motivate somebody. We're looking for those individuals that are already self-motivated and have that same passion and love for food. I don't think that can be taught. That's just something inside that, you know, you either love food or it's just a way to fill your belly at night. And surrounding ourselves with those people, that's the key. They follow what I do. I lead by example. I'm still washing dishes. I sweep the floor. I have no problem doing anything. I've always said that I'm never gonna ask any one of my staff to do something I would never do. We scrub the dumpsters out every Saturday, but that's where it's at. That's the level it has to be in. And everything is equal. There's not one job in that restaurant that's more important than the next. Like you said, from greeting somebody at the front door, picking an herb, chopping garlic, sweeping the floor. It's all the same. And if you have that mindset, that's when I think you can achieve greatness.
I'm doing that tomorrow for school lunch.
Perfect. I'll leave you the nitrogen.
They love it. The kids love it. People always say, well, what do you want to do when you retire? And it's like, I want to die in the saddle. I mean, whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to keep doing it until I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is the most fun thing for me in the whole world. There's nothing I would rather be doing, actually, than what we're doing right here.
Absolutely.
This is it. We haven't worked that many days in our whole lives because we love it so much. And that's why part of that love, I hope in our careers it's transferred to excellence and great products and incredible experiences.
Yes.
A couple minutes ago, I asked you about the perception amongst some diners that the food that you make is fussy. And you said very emphatically, the food that I make is not fussy. Some people will look at this and say that's fussy. So now that we've seen the dish, why for you isn't it fussy?
Maybe because I'm the guy creating it. And something that I've always stayed true to myself is, it doesn't matter. I cook for myself and that's it. I don't care what anybody else thinks about my food. And not from an egotistical way, but it's very true.
As the maker, as the artist.
If you're not happy with what you're putting on that plate, then you shouldn't be doing it, first of all, but it shouldn't never leave the kitchen. But if I'm not completely satisfied and have 100% confidence in that dish, then what do I stand on? And if I listen to everyone around me saying, well, you know, there's too much finger limes on that, or it needed more salt, it needed this, it needed that, I wouldn't have a foundation to stand on. And I truly believe that, and I try to instill that in all my young chefs, is you have to have something to stand on. So you have to believe in it 100%. So maybe that's why, to me, it's not fussy, it's just the way that I cook.
That's what I love about, you know, 3-star Michelin cuisine, is that when you're eating it, you're eating food prepared by a chef and his team who are pushing the envelope and exploring what you can do with every ingredient that's on the plate. And it's those techniques and ideas that are literally at the tip of the spear creatively of what can be done. And then years later, you see other people come down into even into the home. But to see it for the first time, to experience certain types of food, to witness certain types of cooking and service in the environment that a chef operating at that level is creating, I think it's a version of church.